Hey everyone, welcome to the latest Facebook Live with Milkshake here from our head office in New Jersey. Wow, we have a special guest in the house. Please give a big welcome to the fabulous Jaclyn Lopes.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be able to show you some really great curling techniques today.
Good, so everything's based around Milkshake lifestyling, and Jaclyn's going to take us through, again, tips and tricks, I think, and leading up to the season when all the updos and the hairdos and all that fun stuff, Jaclyn, I know you love to do.
I do,
so
yes.
We're excited you got all these great things to share with us. So let's get started. We have a fabulous model as well. Some of you may recognize our model, who's also been a guest artist, Cara Lee. So delighted to have her here too.
Yes.
Okay, so Jaclyn, over to you.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to start off today first with doing a curl technique on my beautiful model here, Cara. So thanks again, Cara, for being here and being my model. Your hair is perfect. So what we're going to do with Cara's hair is I decided to do some glam style waves. So I went ahead and I prepped her hair and I got the back finished, and I'll show you how I created this technique. Now, it is crucial whenever you're doing an up-styling or curls, it is crucial to use products when you are styling. It's not something that you should overlook, it's a necessity. You need to use products when you're styling if you want your style to last. Yes, so our life styling. One great thing I love about this line of products is you never have to worry about them being too heavy or overusing them. You can layer them, you can cocktail them, and you're gonna get a nice soft hold, and it's not gonna weigh your client's hair down. As you can see, Cara has a finer texture to her hair, and I'll tell you what kind of products I used in her hair to get her prepped. She did wash it and blow dry it for me this morning, but I sat her down and I cocktailed together shaping foam, which is a nice medium hold, mousse. I cocktailed it with the Liquid Lifestyle. Now the Liquid Lifestyle styler, I feel like a lot of people are kind of intimidated by, because it does have a liquid texture to it. What's great about the Liquid Styler, however, is it has a memory effect. So whenever you're creating curls, I like to go in and, like I said, cocktail the two products together, and then I will take a comb and brush it right into my client's hair. Since her hair was dry, I then blew dry the products into her hair to create a nice foundation for me, to create a little bit of lift and volume throughout her crown section and the front of her hair, okay? So just kind of focused it right in her root area and her crown section. I then sprayed her hair with the texturizing spritz, mid-lengths to ends. I blew dry this in her hair as well. Okay. Along with a little dry shampoo in her roots. So I had her prepped, ready to go. Now the curl technique, you'll see me using, this is about a 1-inch Marcel iron. For those of you that are stylists, the stylist should know how to use a Marcel iron, but if you are not a stylist and you're watching, I also brought with me a spring iron, so I can show you guys how to utilize this look using a spring iron as well.
So one of the questions that are coming in is does the Marcel hold the hair tighter or the spring?
Again, it's more based on the technique. That's a great question, but it's about the technique. And once I get into showing you the technique, you can get both. You can get looks, the same look using both irons. Perfect. Okay, so how I'm going to start. I'm going to start on this side, her heavier side, and I'm just going to turn her so you can see. I'm going to create diagonal back sections Now, when you're curling, you want to be aware of the size of the sections that you take. And if you're doing this behind the chair, you want to make sure you are taking your time, that you've booked yourself enough time to create these looks, because it's very important to be able to take your time, let the hair heat up while you're doing this, and you also need to let it cool. So tension, heat, and setting are your 3 key components to curling. Okay.
So I think from what I'm listening to there, Jaclyn, and to share with our viewers, preparation is key.
Preparation is key.
Yep.
It's key when you're working with styling.
Excellent.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my my curling iron, and I'm just going to loop it around. I'm going to hold it vertical. Okay, I'm going to curl this away from her face. Can you see it? Let me do it like this.
There we go. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so I'm just going to place it on the inside, and what I'm doing, I'm going to curl and kind of twist at the same time. So I'm creating 2 types.
Let's see if I can get you on this side.
Yeah. So I'm twisting. If you can see my hand as I go around the barrel, I'm going to twist. And then as I come around on the bottom, I'm laying the hair flat. I'm coming up and I'm twisting. And then I'm laying that hair flat, okay? Now tension. So I'm holding this really tight against the rod. And then I'm going to bring the curling iron up just a little bit to create a little more tension at the base of her hair. Okay? You want to hold it for a few seconds. I can feel the heat on my thumb, and then I'm going to release. Now, if you notice, I'm not just releasing it down, I'm holding it in my hand, and I'm letting it cool off. At this point, you could spray a little bit of medium hold hairspray to just help seal this product in, and everything smells so good. Okay.
Let's get a picture of that hairspray for everybody out there. There we go. So another question that came in through our email segment is it better to use a strong hold spray or a medium hold spray?
I prefer using a medium hold spray while I'm working, so that way I can comb through the hair as I'm working. I don't have to worry about it being too sticky. So medium hold is my go-to while I'm working. I like to finish with a strong hold to secure
Perfect.
the style.
I think again, listening to you, Jaclyn, the choice of product is essential also, along with the preparation work, isn't it? So that I think there's often a mistake. We go in maybe sometimes with products that are too strong, possibly too sticky, maybe your fingers stick to the hair. I think the medium hold is the best advice to give at this stage, isn't it?
Definitely, and I like to tell people too, when I am doing an updo class, you have to look at the texture of the hair that you're working with. It's crucial. You can't use the same products on every type of hair. For example, if Kara had really curly, coarse textured hair, I would use different products to prep her hair than what I used because her hair's fine. I would go in with more smoothing cream and maybe even some incredible oil to really help smooth out her hair and protect it from the heat. Okay, so you can see I'm creating 2 types of curl patterns here. It's twisted on the top, and then if I were to show you the underneath, we can just kind of flip it around, it's flatter in the back. Okay, so what this does is when we pull it out and I comb it through, once I let it cool in my hands, the 2 different shapes or patterns on the curling iron create different effects, right? So I'm just going to use my wide tooth comb here and brush this out. So the twist is going to create this ridge where the flat part in the back of the iron creates this valley here, this flat valley.
So we have a question coming in, and it's a preference question for you. So it's from Adam, and the question is, well, first of all, good morning, and good morning to you too.
Good morning.
But I think it's good afternoon, Adam. Oh, yeah, afternoon in the East Coast. But the question is, do you prefer to do updos on clean hair or dirty hair?
That's
Great
a
question.
great question. I get this often. I prefer to do updos on clean hair. I recommend my clients come in with clean, dry hair. And I say that because I have the products that I can use to dirty up their hair the way that I need it. The products that I use to give me that grit and texture that I need to support my up style.
I think that's, I think one, it's a great question, but most importantly, I think it's a great answer because it explains it so much better when you think about it. Most people would go in and come in and tell people come in with dirty hair. Or, already dried, but I think it's great. You're creating the type of grit you want.
Well, and two, think about it. Like everybody takes things in a different way. So you could tell a client to come in with dirty hair, and they're coming in with, week old dirty hair. And
Just like they've got French fries on their hair. I think that's, again, just to play into this debate, which is excellent. Adam, thank you for that brilliant question. For some of us that are old enough, that's what we used to do. That's what we used to say to clients. You know why? We didn't have the selection of products that we have now. As Jaclyn's saying, you can create that kind of lived-in texture if you need it, but it's nicer to work with clean hair, isn't it? Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Beautiful. As your model did today, she came in with clean hair for you. So
Yes,
as was agreed.
Yes, she
So
actually.
the preparation was already there.
She messaged me last night. She's like, "Would you rather me wash it now or later?" I was like, "Clean, dry hair, perfect."
So here's another question that's coming in through our other sources of media, and the question is, we notice that you're combing each of the patterns out instead of normally combing it at the end. Is there a specific reason for that?
Yes. The reason I'm combing it while I'm working is because I want to make sure I'm getting that nice form in there. But I'm also holding it and making sure that the hair is cooled off before I go in with my comb, which is very important. A lot of times I do like to curl and then set my curls using a hairpin. Once we get to the top, I'll show you, and I'll leave one in, and I'll show you the difference in the curl pattern that you'll get between curling it, letting it cool and brushing it out, and then curling it and letting it set and then brushing it out.
So another question just came in from Maria, and the question is what are your preferable products to go to?
My preferred products?
When prepping?
Can you repeat what you used on?
Right, probably,
That
yeah.
would be the best.
Yeah, I can repeat what I used on Kara, and then I can also give you some tips on what to use, what kind of products to use on different hair textures. But for Kara, I used the shaping foam, cocktailed with liquid styler. I then sprayed texturizing spritz throughout her mid-lengths to ends, and used the dry shampoo just in her regrowth area, her scalp area, to give me a little bit of volume. And the dry shampoo does give it a little bit of texture and a little bit of grit to the hair. But again, these products, because they are like a lighter weight, they're not super heavy, so they don't weigh down your hair. So don't be afraid to cocktail the products together and utilize them to get the maximum results that you're looking for.
So we'll put this curl in and then pull out those 3 products that we mentioned.
Okay.
Okay.
It's interesting how you can create so many different types of curl, Jaclyn, isn't it? By just the application and, like you said, the way you're twisting the hair. Whereas I think a lot of people pick up a curling iron and think you go one way with it, but there's so many options.
So many options.
Great that you're showing this. Yeah.
So many options.
Let's show that part where you showed when you tilt the iron to show how it's flat in the back. Nice and flat right there, and then she's going to turn the iron and show where it's twisted.
Yeah, so this is twisted here.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, take that out, let it sit in my hands and cool off. And a wide tooth comb. If you are gonna comb out your curls, you do want to use a wide tooth comb. You don't want to use the thin side of your comb. You can use the thin side to maybe like bring some of the curls together if you don't want any spaces here. But to initially comb out, you want to use a wide tooth comb just so you're gently brushing that curl out. I like to utilize too, I have a tail comb here, so that way it can help me just like smooth and work into my shape here. Okay, the key is when you're doing this, you want to have patience. You want to take your time to really let that curl fall into place where you want it. I don't want to have this come forward too. Okay, so we'll take the next section. And again, these are thinner sections. They're about 1/2 inch sections that I'm taking. And sometimes I like to heat up my sections first, especially if somebody has really frizzy hair. I like to just pull my iron right through, just to smooth it out and almost prep it for that curl. Now I mentioned different hair textures. You'll utilize different products to prep the hair. So for coarse textured hair, I would recommend if you are trying to do a more like smooth curl on a coarse texture hair that has natural curl in it, you're going to want to use smoothing cream along with thermal protector. Oops, I forgot to
So you do have a question, Jaclyn, on the thermal protector. When would you use thermal protector? On damp or dry hair? Or both?
Actually, both. You can use it on both. You could spray it in damp hair and blow dry it in because you're using heat with your blow dryer. Or you can spray it right on dry hair and then proceed with your hot tools.
So here's another really good question that just came in.
I love these questions.
Yeah, this question that's coming in now is, so especially when you're working on fine hair, if I can't get the hair to tease, do you have any tricks that can aid in that?
Dry shampoo. Dry shampoo will help give you a little bit of texture.
I'm going to come right around to the other side. All right.
And I'll show you how I would tease using that. And I'll show you right here since that question just came in.
Do you know, it's funny how, and Brian, you agree, how all these great questions are coming in, because I got to be honest with you. When I heard you say something about the tease and to use dry shampoo, I was like, oh, that's been my problem all these years. I was like, that was a good answer. So here, to the question about teasing, how can you secure a tease?
So add a little bit of dry shampoo. Okay, you can see it gives a little bit of like a powdery look, so I just brush it in. And then when you're teasing, you want to make sure you start about halfway up, 3/4 of the way up, and you're taking that tease all the way down to the scalp area, okay? people tend to show teasing really fast, but your motion is to go really slow and make sure you're bringing it all the way down to the base of your hair. Okay, so you can create this foundation.
Nice.
A lot of
That's a great tip. And also, I think it's very true and very live right now because Cara actually has quite fine hair.
She does, yeah.
Yeah, soft.
And what a lot of people do wrong is they end up brushing out their tease. So when you are trying to smooth that tease over, you want to be really gentle with how you brush the hair. I'll usually use more of like a natural bristle brush, and I'll just use the side of the brush. I won't go in and brush out the tease. I'll use just the tip of the brush, but right now I just have a comb, so I'm just going to show you how I would gently just tease out, just smooth out that tease on the top, but still have that volume underneath, okay?
Wow, you got kudos for that.
There you go, great tip.
Trinda said, cool tips.
And remember-
Sarah says, you're a wizard. Dry shampoo, let's get that dry shampoo back in there.
It is,
Yeah.
magic scent. That's
It's
the
funny
one.
because dry shampoo has so many different uses,
Yeah.
you know, really, really cool. So here's another one. Do you always recommend taking diagonal back sections for this style?
Yes. Yes, I feel like taking the diagonal back sections, I'm working more with the shape of her head than taking horizontal sections moving up. So I just feel like it gives it more of a natural fall.
Great, great, great question by Casey, and of course, fantastic order. So I think everybody's excited because the thermal protector is there.
There it is.
Check it out, everybody.
So this was applied earlier in the preparation as well.
Actually, it was, yes, I forgot to
Jaclyn,
mention it.
Omitted that part, but we're adding a little more. And what's really important with with all of the lifestyling, and especially the thermal protector, with the quinoa proteins that's in virtually right across the range, very good for color protection. And I know that Cara literally just freshened up the color in her hair. So what we want to do is protect that beautiful color that she's put in there. So the thermal protector is going to do that for us so that she doesn't lose that color with the use of what you would call excess heat really on the hair. So as Gerard kindly said, yes, we're all excited to have thermal
Okay, don't
protector
shake the
back.
can.
Don't shake the can. I was all excited there. So there you
Away
go.
from the head.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
Perfect.
I have a brilliant film director who's awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. And you're knowing exactly how to tilt that can.
There you go. Off
Yes.
the light.
Trinda, you are so welcome. Jaclyn, she's saying thank you for this video.
There you go.
Thank you for tuning in and watching. I appreciate it. Now, I did forget to mention the Thermal Protect, but I do like to apply it on my client's hair all over before I go in and start using my hot tools, because I don't know about you guys, but I have a tendency, if I don't do it and spray it all over and brush it in, I will forget to go in and apply it on every single section. Sorry. So I like to kind of prep the hair beforehand and get that going so I don't forget.
And now you've got me.
And now I have you, yes, so I can tell Coach B over
She
here.
has a very expensive assistant, so it's all working out well here. It's working out.
Oh, I was thinking of this same question. So the question is there a temperature that best works for fine hair when curling?
I think it depends on the technique that you are doing. I like to put my iron anywhere from, I would say, like the 300 mark to so I'll go anywhere from about
Let's get right in
380 to the highest temperature, depending on the curl that I'm using and how long I'm keeping the heat on the hair. For Cara, for this, I do have it up all the way. But I am always aware, I always kind of have my finger touching the iron while I'm curling, so I'm aware of how long it's there. Once my finger really starts to heat up, I take it off.
Awesome. And because of the thermal protectant, we're not as worried. Another question. Do you have a recommended shampoo conditioner combo for your prep?
That's gonna be determined on their hair texture. For Cara, I would recommend the Milkshake Volumizing Shampoo and Conditioner. The conditioner is extremely lightweight, it's not going to weigh her hair down, and it's just going to give me a little extra added volume that I need to help support her style.
Excellent. That's exactly what I would have recommended.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love
the volume. Yeah,
I love the
perfect.
volume shampoo. It's actually what I use in my hair as well.
Good. So are you maintaining the same pattern then, Jaclyn, on
I
this?
am.
I've just brought you around slightly because we're running out of cable. We can't get you that far around, so
Yes,
we'll have to bring you back around
yes.
this
So
way.
I'm creating the same type of pattern all the way through here.
Let's see that.
And stand by because Jaclyn has
Wow.
a few more tips to share with you. We're going to complete Cara, and then with the time left, she's pre-prepared one of her fabulous long mannequins to be able to share even more tips with you. So it's very exciting. So stay with us. There's a lot more to come. A lot
Yes,
more to come.
I prepared my long hair mannequin actually with, I sectioned her in 4 quadrants. And I have 4 more curl techniques to share with you all today.
Okay, that's awesome.
Some 2 different ways to create that soft textured look that I feel so many people are asking for. And then some other ways to utilize your flat iron. And then I'm also showing just a basic curl, like a basic,
An everyday-
just like
an
flat,
everyday
everyday curl that I recommend to a lot of my clients. Everybody thinks that they have to utilize a flat iron to get certain curls. And I tell my clients, you know, sometimes you have to take it back to the basics and just do these simple techniques to create the same kind of looks.
The thing is, do simple techniques, but do them well.
Yes.
That's the key.
So here's another question that just came in. It's if working with extensions, would you clip them in before curling or clip them in as you go?
Great. I would clip them in as I go. If they were clip-in, if I'm using clip-in extensions, then I would clip them in as I worked up the head. So I would be able to clip them in, comb them, and then curl them.
And if they're tape-ins or beaded, then you would just continue to...
Then I would just work, then they're already in place,
Right.
and I would just work with them as is. Yeah, so I am taking the same pattern. Like Brian had mentioned, I'm taking the same pattern throughout this whole section. So I'm curling everything back away from her face. So I can create like this uniformed wave.
I love the technique, Jaclyn, if you don't mind me sharing with the viewers the way you gently comb the hair out with the large teeth of the comb. It's got to be specific, isn't it? You don't want to use the small teeth, correct?
Correct. Yes, yes. You have to use the wide side of your comb or a full wide tooth comb while you're combing out.
Because I'm sure the
100%.
small teeth would be like a little too tight, almost make the hair, maybe a little frizzy, possibly? Mm-hmm. Okay,
So what I'll do here, actually, I'll show you that teasing again,
there you go. Dry shampoo.
especially since now we're working towards the top of her head and around her face. I would like to add a little bit more volume here. Sorry.
There's one thing, my nostrils smell amazing.
And then just to let everybody know that was dry shampoo that was sprayed, not hairspray.
Yes,
It was,
dry shampoo.
Magic Scent by Lifestyling. Dry shampoo with the most awesome fragrance. Fantastic. I don't
And
mind it.
Jaclyn's doing her
Jaclyn's
famous light tease.
my cheese. Beautiful. That's a great tip that you do it slower, because often, I think the classic way was to go at like 90 miles an hour, wasn't it? Like go really,
You're
really
right.
fast, like a blur. But that's very controlled. I love the fact that you're controlling that. Do you feel that you've got more control also?
I feel like I have more control and I can really focus on the hair that I need to bring that down right to the base to support the look.
Right. And would you say that there's more advantage to using the dry shampoo as to using, say, even a medium hairspray?
Definitely.
In that regrowth area?
Definitely, yes, because using a hairspray, it almost makes it look dirty.
Yeah.
Right at your scalp.
Almost too sticky.
Yeah, right at your root area. Nobody wants their hair to look dirty, especially if you're doing this for somebody's wedding or
Yeah.
if they're a bridesmaid or they're going to an event.
I think also, Jaclyn, is the that gentle combing technique that you do over the back combing, if it had hairspray, it'd be almost impossible to do that, wouldn't it? You wouldn't get that hair smoothed out. Cool. And here comes that combing technique again.
Yeah.
You wait till the hair's cooled down,
Yeah,
otherwise you'll pull the curl right out. wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I pancake it till it's cool to touch, and then I go ahead and let it fall, and I just comb it right
There
out.
you go. That's it. I think a great emotion for me right now is the way you respect the hair, the way you're gentle with it. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the key. Otherwise, you may destroy what you've just put in. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. Anytime you're working with styling hair, you have to have a really gentle touch. You want to feel where that hair wants to fall, and you have to really
Yeah.
respect the hair.
It's almost like an emotion, isn't it? Because you've got to feel it.
Yeah.
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 Fantastic. That's great.
And it feels good for me too, so.
Oh, the models
it's
are not allowed to talk,
relaxing.
darling. The models are not allowed to talk.
It is relaxing, and I feel when I do weddings and things like that, I feel like I have to stay calm while I'm doing their
Yeah.
hair, and I feel like it helps
'Cause it
them
it'll
calm
the
down.
bride down or
Exactly.
the
I'm like, this is
bridesmaids.
your time to relax.
I
You
think
know.
you've got me and Gerard quite calm, so that's good. Well, I don't know. This is an interesting filming technique. Great. I hope everybody's seeing this at home. Gerard's doing a fantastic job coming in tight here so you can see the actual technique that Jaclyn's using the curling iron.
And you can
up
really see
close.
Kara's beautiful color in there right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That looks great.
What was the formula, Cara, that you used on here? On your ends?
I did a lilac cocktail with our lilac direct color, and I did the silver shine whipped cream with that, and I actually also added in a little drop of beige. If I had to estimate the amount, would probably be maybe 2 mils of beige.
Okay, cool. I pop that under the light. I think some of you may see that beautiful color on our highlighted pieces. Looks amazing. Very nice indeed. Beautifully prepped for Jaclyn, thank you. And then I think you see it more when Jaclyn combs out those kind of waves. Looks great.
Yeah, I like
Now,
that.
it's very soft though. I love the fusion of the color. Okay. All right, so what have you got to do now, Jaclyn? Maybe 2 more sections here on the top?
Yeah, about 2 more sections here on the top.
Good.
And then we can always, we could always pause and
Well, what we might do is switch over, and then we can finish Cara later.
Exactly,
and then we'll
yes.
take a couple of pictures of the finished look, and we'll post it on the Milkshake North America page for you to see the complete look. Because I know that Jaclyn's got some other exciting techniques to share with you. I think what's really important also for those of you that are not so familiar with milkshake lifestyling is all the benefits. The heat protection, the Integrity 41, we've even got hemp seed oil, especially in the dry shampoo, modified starch, which helps to absorb anything that may be near that scalp area, which would cause the hair to collapse, which is why Jaclyn says you get that little grip on the hair there. So these are really, really important. There's organic extract of chestnut, believe it or not, in 1 or 2 of the products, and what that does, it gives increased protection against the heat along with the thermal protector. So some great benefits with the lifestyling range, which we all love to use.
So
Any more questions coming
2
in?
comments. One is everybody's noticing, this is coming into another source of media, everybody is noticing the immense amount of shine this hair has,
Awesome.
while still utilizing an excess amount of product.
Fantastic. I think thank you, Gerard, because that shows just how beneficial lifestyling products are. They don't, to use an expression, they don't cake the hair up and make it dull. There's always a shine on the hair because of the quinoa proteins. Yeah.
And then 2 other questions that just came in. When would you choose to use a pin set technique for cooling the curls versus cooling them in your hands? And is there a difference?
Yes, I would utilize, thank you for that question. I would utilize using the pin technique to set the hair when I'm doing a wedding and I have the time, particularly doing a bride. I'll usually take her in my chair first, and set her hair, pin up the curls, and then send her away, and then take her last. And what that does is it just really helps secure that look in her hair, as opposed to taking it out. Also, I want it to last all day. So setting it and letting it sit will guarantee that that curl is going to last all day. It'll keep that curl a little bit tighter.
And then the other one is they're noticing beautiful waves in the hair. Where do you see curl patterns going today? Is it something really, really tight, really curly? My favorite word that I don't use anymore, but the beachy wave.
We're in the wrong part of the world for the beach now.
Yeah, that falls in
More
line with
south.
that falls in line with my other favorite one, balayage.
Oh,
I do feel like curls are more, so even doing this more of a formed curl, sometimes I'll leave the end out, so it just makes the curl a little bit looser, a little bit more modern, as opposed to like that really coiffed
An
style.
unstructured curl.
yeah. Contrived.
But I do also feel like it depends on the event that you're styling your hair for. If it's just a daily curl that you want to create, I think more of that tousled, like you said, beachy wave, is something to use on like a day-to-day basis, or something like this you would do more for like an event style.
Okay, so Jaclyn, when we come to this last section, once you do the curl on this, let's do those little
That's beautiful.
let's pin set it, yeah? Cool. That's amazing.
Your last section.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll do the pins, and we can leave the pin in, and then we can always take it out at the end, yeah?
Again, I'm just gonna
A
go in,
little shampoo in there. There we go. Perfect.
take this tease right down.
Dry shampoo in there.
Here's a great question when you're coming with that. So if you have someone with super curly hair that wants a vintage set like this, would you blow dry them out first
Yes,
and then do?
yes, I would blow dry their hair out first and smooth out their natural curl pattern. And then I would go in and start curling. So again, using like that smoothing cream, the incredible oil is great because it's heat activated to help add shine. You can add the thermal protect in their hair to help aid in blowing out their hair, creating lots of shine in their hair before you go in and create your curls. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and now I'm going to pin this piece up here.
And if you think about it, Jaclyn, even with Cara, your model, you actually prepped her hair by drying it as well, didn't you?
I
So
did.
that, you're absolutely got that correct texture for you to use.
And then here you go, Sarah. This is for you. She's pinning in this curl. Look at that.
So I'm
Let's
just
see
gonna
where
pin
that
it
looks.
Right kind of where it falls there. I don't want to mess up the base at all. And then I also have these cool little pins, so I
love
can
those.
utilize
I
them
love those.
without adding any kind of indents in the hair. And I tried to stick with milkshake colors here.
There you go. It's like you're using
Okay.
almost
So
the,
you could,
almost the same color.
Mhm.
Brilliant. Hey,
okay, just to help form that style into the hair as well.
great.
So now it's like you're almost doing a final set right before you're ready to give it a light smooth out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that. So come back round in, Jaclyn, for a moment, and then we'll set Cara on our way. So do you want to just do a quick recap before we close this segment out? Yeah. Again, doing the two types of curl that you did. You can just recap that for everybody that's just joining us, possibly.
Yes, yes. So the curl that I did for her hair, I did use my Marcel. You could also use a wand, or if you used a spring curling iron, you would just leave the spring open. And what I did is I wrapped the curl, wrapping away from her face. And as I wrapped, I I would twist my wrist, just a slight motion to twist my wrist to create a twist on the top of the iron. And then as I worked around, it would be flat and smooth. So I'm creating a flat pattern. And what that does is it helps create the ridges and the valleys that are in this type of wave.
So do you always wrap away from the face, or is there ever a time when you wrap towards the face?
Yeah, I think it's preference. I prefer to wrap away from the face just because the hair tends to fall back away from their face. When you wrap forward, the hair is going to fall more in their face, but I do feel like there are some really great like vintage looks where they do curl the hair forward and it just falls really nicely towards their face. So it's all preference and based on the style that you're looking to create.
Great. Cool. Okay, so hey, stay with us. Don't anybody go anywhere. We've got some more beautiful surprises that Jaclyn's pre-prepared.
Yes.
So for the moment, we'll say a big thank you to Cara, and we'll step her out for a few moments, and then we'll bring her back with a finished look, or we'll show you some images on the Milkshake North America page. So let me just move that chair out of the way.
Yes, so I have my beautiful long-haired mannequin with me that I prepped. So I blew her out and I prepped her. I sectioned her in 4 quadrants and I created 4 different curl techniques that I can show you to utilize different styles.
So here's something, and it's always good to realize this, how we inspire people. Trinda turned around and says, "I feel so inspired after watching this." So that's kudos to you, Jaclyn.
Well done.
Thank you.
Excellent. So, Jaclyn, here we are with with your pre-prepared girly from earlier on. A little something I prepared earlier, I think is what we used to say from the cook shows.
Right, a little something I prepared.
Pre-done one comes out the oven.
Take her out of the oven.
There you go. There you go. So anyway, this is exciting, and the different textures that you've got. And can you explain that you left one section out, just so you can replicate what you did earlier?
Okay, yes. So I left the top section out so I can show you the curl technique that I used. And I also did not comb or brush through any of these sections because I figured we could do that live on the video so you could see what this curl pattern is going to create when we really loosen it up. And I'm going to start from more of like a simplistic type of curl that everybody can do at home. If you're not a hairstylist, this is something that you could definitely do on yourself. And then I bring it to I'm going to go around and bring it to more advanced use of your tools. Okay.
All right.
Just to let you know, we have Stavros all the way from Greece.
Hey peeps!
Hey,
Hello
peeps.
peeps! Got some thermal? Yeah.
Yes, some
A little
thermal.
thermal protector. There we go. Again, prepping it with the thermal protector before using the hot tools. Oh, peeps from Greece, awesome.
So,
peeps. So you're going to use
I'll use this one, yes. So the first curl is more of just like a flat, just a flat curl that I'm bringing around my curling iron. It's a type of curl that people used to do to create curls, maybe using, I'm drawing a blank, using rollers.
rollers, yeah.
Yep.
Almost there.
Almost.
Almost there.
Perfect.
There you go.
So,
there you go. All right.
And it's what I do on my hair. When I curl my hair, this is the technique that I use when I'm curling my own hair because it's quick, it's easy, and so many people ask me how I curl my hair on a daily
That was
basis.
exactly what I was going to say, Jaclyn, because I know many people compliment you about your hair, so this is exactly the technique that you use.
This is the iron that I use, this is the technique that I use, so it's very simple.
So here's a good question, actually. People have noticed, and this comes into the other source of media, people have noticed that you are taking your curling iron, your wand, it's a spring one at this time, and you lightly go through the top, and then you lightly go through the bottom, and then you proceed to curl. Is that just a Jaclyn technique, or is it something that, is there reasoning behind that?
There's reasoning behind it. It's something I learned early on. So what it does is it just it helps heat up the hair, and it helps just smooth out. Her texture is different than Kara's, so it helps just smooth out any little flyaways or anything like that, and it helps kind of seal that product into the hair before I proceed curling.
Awesome. So for the people that didn't get to see, let's show them exactly, again, you're kind of just taking the curling iron, you're not bending the hair, you're just smoothing it out, almost like using a flat iron.
Exactly.
And then you're going from the underneath.
Yeah, that's all. I just
Awesome.
bring it right through and just kind of smooth that hair out to get it prepped. And it just helps add a little bit more shine in there and get it ready for the curl.
And especially with the thermal protector,
And
which is helping with that shine aspect,
Exactly,
isn't it?
yes. The thermal protector is a must. It's a key, it's a must-have.
A must-have. Oh, nice pun. For those who don't know, if you're not aware, all the lifestyling products have cute names. This is called must-have, and Jaclyn just said it's a must-have. So
Now-
you must have invented that.
If you notice I do this, it's because I'm used to using a curling iron that has like a thicker blade on it. And sometimes those blades can leave an indent in the hair. If you've ever worked with a regular curling iron, I'll just show you with this one. If I go in and close it, you get this little line. Okay, so an easy way to get rid of that is to just take your iron and help smooth over the top.
Tim Morin says that Jaclyn is a star. With a big heart.
That's my husband.
With a big heart. That's what I had to say. I had a funny feeling with your husband. But he's giving you the biggest red heart I've ever seen. Oh.
I
Love is
you.
in the
Thank
hair.
you.
There you go.
He's driving home from a fishing trip. He told me he would be too.
Very romantic. He was on a fishing trip. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the second little thing next to the heart is a tackle.
Fishing rod.
That was sweet.
Excellent. That's cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you got your own fan club,
I'm
Jaclyn.
just curling this, and I'm staying right at the base of her head while I'm curling.
I love the fact that you were taking the hair there and then
I'll just start over.
holding the end as well. So you're not just curling it round and round. It's actually quite a precise technique that you're using.
Yes,
So you
and
turn the barrel and then you take the hair and twist it again.
yep, and it's just to make sure I'm working in clean sections. I'm guiding the hair in the direction that it needs to go in.
But you can see
gonna
the
get a-
shine on the hair if Jar catches that there. It's beautiful.
Let's get a close-up of the way you
Close up.
turn that.
See, turns the barrel first, and then the hair's kind of slipping through, correct?
It is, yes.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, in this curling iron, I love because I don't have to twist my wrist a lot. I can just twist right around, twist the,
Because it seems
The
like there's
wand
enough
here.
space there for the hair to slide through. That's why I wanted to really focus on that, Jaclyn, because it's not a straightforward technique, although you're saying it's a simple curl.
Right.
It's how you apply it, isn't it? Yeah, brilliant. Excellent.
yes, it's how you apply it. So I'm guiding that hair in the right direction. Because it's so easy when you're curling, especially if you're curling your own hair yourself. You can tend to curl it in the wrong direction and create more of those lines. So you want to make sure you're guiding the hair in the right direction as you curl. I'm just creating a nice flat curl, which is just very simplistic. A lot of people, a lot of clients, when I ask how they curl their hair, they say they start from the bottom up. So it's just a way to create an even curl all the way around. Doing this, you're creating an even curl all the way down throughout the whole hair. When you curl from the bottom up, what you're doing is you are creating a tighter curl pattern at the bottom and more volume at the top.
Well, it's great that you just said that because that was the question. So another quick little question off the cuff over here that came in is, do you like the automatic irons? Like the automatic twisting irons?
I prefer them just because,
For this technique.
yes, for this technique, just because it's easier on my wrists. I really don't have to work too hard. I can just use my fingers and twist right around.
Let's get a close-up of some of those curls because they're nice, neat, clean.
And I'm just going to use a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
And now, all I'm going to do to break this up, I'm just going to use my fingers. So I'm just going to take my fingers in here, and it would be great some freehand paste.
Okay. And why would you choose the freehand paste, Jaclyn?
Just to give me a little bit more hold, a little bit more texture in there to help secure the style in while I'm finishing. It smooths down any little flyaways, so I can keep it a little bit smoother towards the top. And then just break my fingers in and really just break that up to give it a lighter, less formed style.
And then if you had, say, some extra flyaways, Jaclyn, would you consider maybe like freehand paste, or no, you just use freehand paste?
I just
You
use
the
freehand
design
paste.
wax, yeah?
Yeah.
Because this would give you maybe more increased shine.
Yes.
Again, we can let everybody see that, so it's a completely different texture to the freehand paste.
Yes.
Has that kind of nice sparkly extra shine particles in there, if the light can catch that. So that's something else we'd recommend
Yes.
as a complete finisher.
I was going to use that on this side so you could kind of see the difference
Oh boy,
in the finish.
got ahead. Got ahead of ourselves there. All right, okay, I stand corrected. That's brilliant, because I knew that you love
Yes.
to use this product.
I do,
just wanted to
especially-
make sure you were going to get it in there.
Especially for finishing and polishing off.
Okay, so sorry, Gerard.
So not only do you get a compliment that you are inspiring people, but everybody feels that you make it look so easy.
See, yeah.
She does.
It does, yeah.
I just want to curl somebody's hair. Go get Dolly.
I would like to utilize the Eco Mist hairspray for this one. Okay, now this is another technique that it's fairly quick to do. It's something that I like to finish my clients off with in the salon, just because I can do it fairly quickly, utilizing my curling iron and give them that nice like tousled curl. Okay, so I'm just going to switch back to my Marcel. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. So a question came in on another social media. So what made you switch from one spray to the other? Is there a preference? Is there a reason, or does it follow the technique?
So I love using the Stronghold as a working spray as I'm working through my curls. I like to spray the hair with it because I love how it sprays. You don't have that aerosol, so I can direct this hairspray exactly where I need it in the hair versus taking the aerosol and spraying it all the way around.
Perfect.
Okay, it does contain that UV filter and the quinoa proteins to help protect your hair color while you use it too, and protect from the environment. Okay, so
I don't know if they're talking about you or Brian, but it says she's like a styling fairy.
I've been called worse, so I think we'll give that to Jaclyn. That one. Yeah.
What's important?
Thank you.
What's important when you are doing this? We talked about heat from the curling iron. This technique, you want to make sure your heat is on high because you're not keeping the curling iron on the hair for very long. So as I'm curling, using the same kind of curl technique I used before, but I'm letting go and I'm twisting the hair as I curl down. Okay, and then I'm going to leave the ends out. Another key point when you are doing this, you want to make sure you're alternating your curl pattern to create that wavy textured look. So if you go to the left, then on one section, then you want to go to the right on the next. And I'll do three.
Getting very clever.
Three, yes. Okay, so we'll use that Eco Mist again. And the Eco Mist, I'd like to say, I do like to use it for this style because it is a stronger hold. So it gives me a little bit of a stronger hold while doing this technique, since the curling iron's not in the hair for a long time. So it just gives me that little more, it gives me a little more structure.
Yeah, I love that little twisting technique. That's very, very cool.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
Let's have you repeat it this time.
Nope, it is this way, I was right.
So could you do this with your blow dryer and a round brush? The question is.
If you do this with your blow dryer and a round brush, you can, but you usually end up taking bigger sections. For this, using the curling iron, I can take smaller sections to create a more more defined curls.
And does everybody see when you do that, you drop it off the top of the curling iron, yeah? Here we go again, watch this, watch. See how that section just drops off and then it's ready to take the next one.
Let me see you do that with a round brush.
And it would have to be a very small round brush, wouldn't it? I think
Yes.
you'd end up with you sometimes see the blow dries with all the brushes in the hair and Cool, you run out of brushes, I think, if you were doing this technique. All right, so let's get this complete, and then maybe we'll do that last section. We're on tight time now.
Okay.
Okay, cool. You've packed so much into this, Jaclyn. I hope everybody's been really enjoying this. I think Jaclyn has given us some amazing techniques here and showing the benefit of the milkshake lifestyling products. Just how versatile and you know, how you can combine the products and how you can use them singularly. Yeah, I think you said that before. Don't be frightened of them. You know, use the products to see what you can get from them. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so now we'll do the texturizing cream, which is a little bit of a softer texture compared to the freehand paste. But again, just rake your fingers through. So it really gives you that nice tousled beachy wave there.
Yeah, this has a little more, would you say this has a little more grip?
It has a little bit
Just
more
give
grip.
that hair a little more lived-in
Yep.
sort of effect, yeah. So again, it's a slightly different from the previous freehand paste. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so now we're slowly getting to a more advanced curl here.
Oh. Advanced curl.
Transitioning.
Spin on that way. There you go. We'll just put you to the other side now, Jaclyn.
Okay.
Because we'll have to, right, keep it this way.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and I'll move around for you. There we are.
Okay.
Okay, this can get a little complicated, so just kind of bear with me here.
Just keep one section.
I didn't think I was gonna fill the time,
I
so
know,
this
you
is
didn't
great.
think you
No, do them both, everybody's
Yeah, a little
saying.
thermal protect is good.
Okay.
Jaclyn, why did you choose the texturizing cream this time versus the design wax?
The texturizing cream this time, again, because it has a little bit more hold in it, than the freehand paste. And I just to secure that style in, it has a nice texture to create that texture into this textured curl.
Hence why it's called texturizing
Exactly.
cream, because
And also because you did all these different quadrants, you're using a different texturizing cream or wax with each quadrant. So I think when we finish this part, then you can explain why you use each product in each section.
Sure, because we've gone through 2 so far, and then you've got the design wax, which I'm sure you would
Yes.
use on that.
I'll use the
4
texture for
quadrant,
this too.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing here is I'm alternating the way that I curl the hair, okay? So wherever my blade ends up, I then take it down to the next section and curl it into the opposite way, picking up the bottom strand and bringing it around,
Cool.
okay? So this just creates different wave patterns throughout. Okay, so we'll do it again. So I'll start off,
And then the question came in again, and just for a repeat, do you always smooth out your sections like that with the iron?
I typically do, yes.
And what size is your barrel?
I believe it's 1 inch. It's usually my go-to. If
And-
I want to create bigger, looser waves, then I'll move up to a 1.5 or 2 inch.
And Kelsey loves your technique.
Thank
Hey.
you. Thank you, Kelsey.
At least you've got one fan.
So you can
Yeah,
see I'm
you've
just
got many
alternating the curl pattern as I work down each strand. Making sure I'm not going in the opposite direction of the barrel because you don't want to create any of those little kinks in there from the blade. Okay? Also, let's just make sure this is on for my next one. All right, so I'm texturizing cream again because this is a really textured look. But you can see I took a little bit of bigger sections on this side than I did this side. This side I took smaller sections, but just preference. You can always take a little bit of a bigger section.
So same technique, difference in size.
Cool.
Great.
Cool.
All right.
All right, now this is really cool.
The last one, I love this one.
This I created using a flat iron. And it's really neat. It's a neat way to create these waves. And I'm actually going to use a little design wax before I even take my iron to it.
Oh, here's a question that we just need to jump back to. Do you feel that the Marcel iron gives you a different type of a curl, or is it just the type of iron you like to use?
Honestly, it's just the type of iron that I like to use. Because I feel like I can use a Marcel in so many different ways. I can use it like a wand. I can use it like a regular curling iron. It just gives me a lot of versatility. So I feel like I could bring it with me everywhere versus having a whole arsenal of tools having to switch between. And I think it looks more professional.
Oh, now we're really switching it up. Now it's a
Yep.
flat iron.
And design
And
wax
design
on
wax.
before. So this is prior to the heat.
This
going
is
on, yeah.
awesome, and it's back. It's back on deal for everybody.
Design wax is back, people.
And stop shaking the container,
Oh,
bro.
I get all excited. I'm
And
sorry.
it smells amazing.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do here,
Let's just show that you kind of comb that design wax in there.
yeah, while you do that, I'm just gonna wipe my hands. They're a little bit sticky here.
So Jaclyn actually took the design wax and applied it to the hair. Not as a finishing, but this time using it as a prep, and that's different.
Preparation, yeah, it's awesome.
And you'll notice I'm gonna do the same thing with
me
my
see if I
flat
can
iron,
get some of
smoothing the
that.
hair out first before I go in. Okay, but you wanna keep your, again, be gentle and loose with your hands, you know? So I'm just pushing the hair, and you'll see it bends naturally for me, right? Okay, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bend it, and I'm just going to tap my flat iron and push the hair at the same time.
You're right, Sarah. Now she's getting fancy. Okay, April has another question. Does the curl get weighed down using that wax?
It does not, no, it's.
For clients who have trouble with curls falling? And the answer would be no, April.
No,
And also, too, it's the amount you use. That's,
Correct. If
we're
you put a
not,
lot on, of course it would, yeah. Like
we're not
any-
buttering a turkey here.
There you go. No, you're putting
Look at that.
You're putting a fine coating on, aren't you? I mean, it's incredible what that
Is
does.
that amazing?
and now I'm gonna comb this out again with my wide tooth comb. I haven't combed out any of this here, so I'm just gonna go in and just gently kind of comb it.
Wow.
So then you can see it just kind of loosens it right up and gives it a little bit of a different look.
Almost like a zigzag.
Yeah, isn't that really cool?
That's really cool.
And you can see with the design wax, it adds like a nice shine to the hair.
I'm supposed to be filming it here, and I'm getting all excited. I'm getting all excited. Like, wow.
Wow.
Do you feel like pinning your waves with this technique helps with the hold?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, yes. And pinning it and letting it cool before you go in and brush it out with any curls that you do.
Sarah,
All right.
Sarah, that's Medusa realness. I'm obsessed.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank
so
you.
let's do this.
Thank
Let's
you,
move
everybody.
this to the side here for a moment. We'll leave that right there. Wow, I'll tell you, what a great Facebook Live. Thank you. And the marvelous Jaclyn Lopes. That was fantastic content for the short amount of time that we have. I know that many of you have picked up on some of these techniques. We hope you can work stronger with lifestyling products, in the
Yes,
hair
oh,
and
yes.
for styling with. And actually, the design wax to prep the hair was a new one. That was a new one. We loved that.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. So,
Yeah.
last words from you, Jaclyn?
Yes, well, I want to just reiterate, don't be afraid of using the lifestyling products and cocktailing them and using them together. Because they are lightweight, they're not going to weigh down the hair, and they are going to provide a great texture and stability into your products, into your hair. So don't be afraid to use them, utilize them, cocktail them, layer them. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. You had awesome questions for me. I was afraid nobody would tune in, so thank you so much. I appreciate all of you guys.
I know we might go into 5-minute overtime, but we got a quick question here.
Okay.
Can you quickly review which paste used in each section?
Yes, I can.
All right, let's do it again.
I think that's a great question because
It
I
is a
want to
great
hear it too.
question.
With this one?
Yeah, so I started in the first quadrant. I used freehand paste, just applied to my fingertips and raked in with my hands.
Let's just get that freehand paste one more time.
Sure.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Look at that. And this is what you created with it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Just a nice soft curl pattern.
Soft, everyday curl pattern.
Yeah. In the back two quadrants, I utilized my texturizing cream. Again, because I wanted a little bit more structure to help secure the textured waves.
Loving all these questions, Jaclyn, that are
Me
coming
too.
in today for you. Yeah, brilliant.
Great.
And last but not least,
Yep, and then the last quadrant, I utilized
Love
the
this.
design wax.
but how did you utilize it?
I utilized the design wax for preparation before I went in with my flat iron.
Is that not amazing and
So there's all three together.
great deal? You can get them.
All of those products on the one mannequin head. That was fantastic. So, on behalf of Z1 Concept, North American Milkshake and Lifestyling, wow, a huge thank you to Jaclyn Lopes, art team member. And let's quickly bring our fabulous model, who's not completely finished yet, but she will be. And we'll post some images out on the Milkshake North America Facebook page, so check it out later. So everybody, thank you. What
Thank you
fantastic.
so
And
much.
thank you, Gerardo, for great filming.